sir.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Please have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Comfortable.
Yes.
So we call you Ananya.
Yes.
Ananya, introduce yourself.
Sir, I'm Ananya. I come from Mahbubnagar district of Telangana. I have done my graduation from Miranda House, University of Delhi. And sir, I'm a cricket enthusiast. I also like to teach and mentor students.
And your hobbies include fiction,
Yes, sir.
fiction and mentoring students. So Miranda House is very historical college. So can you tell us something more about history of Miranda House?
So Miranda House was one of the first women colleges that was set up in Delhi, sir. Its foundation stone was in fact laid by Indira Gandhi, and so the history basically, it was set up by Sir Maurice Guire, and it was named as Miranda after a character in Shakespeare's novel Tempest called Miranda, which is nothing but a symbol for a befitting young lady in that character. So yes, sir, from since then I think Miranda House has exceptionally served women's higher education in the country.
Ananya, you you are from Telangana,
Yes.
right? So some of these southern states are not happy at tax distribution, which goes to states kitty. So what is your opinion on this entire process? Is Finance Commission flawed, or their demand is not justified, or what else is the issue?
So the primary issue that southern states are concerned about is regarding the demographic parameters that are taken into account by the Finance Commission in its terms of reference. Southern states are saying that since they have performed very well on demographic parameters, they are being in fact punished in the sense that their better demographic performance is translating into lower devolution, sir. Sir, in my opinion, I believe going forward, Finance Commission has to devise its terms of reference in such a manner that where there is scope for both equity and performance too, sir. So, if the terms of reference include something for the southern states for better performance in these aspects, I think that will go a long way in assuaging the concerns of southern states.
Do you think it is not there? Have you seen Finance Commission recommendations?
So yes, sir. The recent terms of reference also included the 2011 and 1971 parameters also, population parameters, which do indicates that there is certain sense of recognition to performance. However, sir, going forward, I think there should be a balance between both equity and performance, in my opinion.
All right. So elections have been announced.
Yes, sir.
Right. So there is something called C Vigil. What is C Vigil and what is relevance of C Vigil, which CEC mentioned that each citizen must make use of?
So C Vigil is the technological device that is basically created by Election Commission to basically make voters more aware of the electoral process and what are the polling booths, as well as the information about the candidates who are contesting the election. So all these things, sir. So it is basically made in order to make voters take informed decisions, in my opinion.
Something beyond that. Voters to be vigilant. Vigil is vigilant.
Sir, I should look into it.
All right. So, Ananya, you read Dan Brown fiction.
Yes, sir.
So, do you believe in T is equal to 0?
Sorry, sir?
T is equal to 0 theory that he propagated in one of the recent books.
Oh, sorry, sir. I'm not aware of that.
Well, what is the last book by Dan Brown?
Sir, I have read Origin, which was published in 2017.
Yes.
Yes. That.
So, Origin talks of T is equal to 0. So, can you recall what is T is equal to 0?
So right now I'm
All
not
right.
able-
Which Dan Brown book you like most?
So I like his the first book I read, Sir, Angels and Demons, which basically introduced me to the Dan Brown's fiction. Sir, it has a fine mix of religion versus science narrative that runs through it, and that is something that really got me interested because I find that theme very fascinating, sir.
Even I am waiting for his book to come.
Yes.
It has not come after Origin. So let's talk about Himalayas. You are a geography student. Are Himalayas rising? And what is the reason for Himalayas to rise?
So some studies of late has pointed out that the Himalayas are in fact rising. In fact, some reports have stated that the height of Mount Everest is also rising. So basically the reasons can be lied in the plate tectonics theory, sir. The Eurasian plate as well as the Indian plate are moving towards each other, and because of that the sedimentary depositions that are there in between are continuously being folded, and that is leading to increase in the height of the Himalayas, sir.
And how many states Himalayas pass through?
Sir, I'm not able to recall the exact figure, but I know the extent that it starts from Jammu and Kashmir, and even the eastern Himalayas ends through the northeastern states also.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So good morning, Ananya.
Good morning, sir.
So how geography of a country determines its international relations?
Sir, I think geopolitics, as we call it, is something that signifies the importance of geography in affecting the international relations of a country. So, for instance, the natural barriers and boundaries of a country will influence the security that the country can get from other countries' invasions. Also, sir, for instance, if we take the case of India, it is situated in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and now the Indo-Pacific is something that is garnering attention in the sense that India can leverage its geographical position in the Indian Ocean for its economic and strategic interests. Sir, also, sir, recently we have seen how Red Sea, because of the geographical position and the trade that it leads to other countries, has been blocked by various terrorist organizations, and that also affected the international relations. So I think there's a lot of influence, sir.
Ananya, I would like you to do a brief macroeconomic analysis of Indian economy.
Sir, right now, India is one of the fastest growing economies of the world, sir, as rightly highlighted by IMF and other world organizations also. However, sir, food inflation is something of a concern right now that might challenge the monetary policy as well as the fiscal policy of the government. Apart from that, sir, I think the recently released PLFS report, that is Periodic Labour Force Survey report, also stated that the unemployment conditions have improved, and that is something that we should take forward. Sir, also the consumer expenditure survey that has been released recently also stated that the overall expenditure that is being consumed by the households is also increasing, which is a good sign, and also stated that the expenditure on food is decreasing and the expenditure on other items is increasing, which again points out to a good direction. Apart from that, sir, however, we should be very careful about the geopolitical risks and its impact on our forex reserves, sir. For instance, the oil that we import and other such things. However, sir, right now I believe it is optimistic and we should take it forward.
And where do you see Indian economy in 2030 in terms of size?
Sir, in terms of size, if India is able to leverage its potential, whether it is in terms of demographic dividend that it has or the manufacturing capability that is now it is leveraging upon through various schemes like One District, One Product, I think India would be able to become the third largest economy, if I'm not wrong, sir, which India is aspiring to.
Now, you're a student of Anthropology also.
Yes.
So, why tribals have been kept out of Uniform Civil Code in Uttarakhand?
Sir, I'm not aware of the exact reason as to why they have been kept out.
Okay, so if Uniform Civil Code is to be implemented in Telangana, So, would you like it to be implemented in the same way?
Sir, I believe uniform civil code is something that requires a lot of stakeholders consultation and consensus generation, sir. Because so if it is going to be implemented in Telangana, I would like that to be implemented by taking into consultation not just various bodies but also religious heads also, sir. Especially because Telangana is a state where there is significant Muslim population, and that too in Hyderabad, where there is scope for communal issues to be flared up. So, if it is to be implemented in Telangana, sir, the religious bodies and the leaders have to be taken into consultation. Only then it can be brought about after full consensus, sir.
We talk about bringing tribals into the mainstream society.
Yes, sir.
So, what can the mainstream society learn from the tribals?
So, the first thing mainstream society can learn from tribals is the environmentally conscious living, sir. Especially in the age of Anthropocene, I believe tribals can teach us a lot in terms of how to live harmoniously with the environment. Secondly, sir, I also believe we are focusing on local level and grassroots level manufacturing capacity these days to improve our manufacturing potential. So tribals also have a lot of skills at the local level that we can also utilize, especially in schemes like one product, one district, one product scheme. So that is something we can learn, sir. And thirdly, sir, in this day and age of materialism and consumerism, minimalism as a trait is not something that is being seen as a desired trait. So tribals can teach a lot about minimalism.
And why do you wish to come into civil services, Ananya?
So when I was in my graduation, I wanted a field which would be intellectually stimulating as well as having a large public interface so that I could derive sense of satisfaction from public service. So civil services provides me a fine blend of both these things, sir. It is intellectually stimulating and challenging on an everyday basis, and it will also provide me an opportunity to interact with the public on a large scale.
Okay. Now, you are also a teacher and a mentor to students.
Yes.
So, what are the common qualities which a civil servant as well as a mentor must possess?
So the first quality I believe is empathy, sir. Both the civil servant and the mentor has to be able to be in the shoes of the other person and should be able to understand their concerns and demands. Secondly, sir, communication. Civil servant is not just a person serving the people but is also acting as a spokesperson of the governmental institutions in the district. The same applies to the mentor, sir. Effective communication is something that will help in exchange of ideas. Yes.
Now, you were also the content team lead in your college, right? So, tell me impact of ChatGPT on content writers.
Sir, I think ChatGPT has provided a lot of scope for content creators in order to create content in a short span of time. They will be able to collate data, whether it is text data, whether it is image data from different sources and bring out the necessary content. However, sir, I also have one particular, I think there is one particular disadvantage, sir. Content writing is not just writing things, but it is also about brainstorming and bringing creative ideas and linking things that do not exist before. So ChatGPT in such sense might hinder some sort of original thinking, might hinder some sort of creative thinking that is actually required for content creators. So while it is good to some extent, I think original thinking has to be retained.
Now, you also like to watch cricket.
Yes.
So, tell me impact of Women's IPL.
So firstly, I believe Women's IPL has given a lot of confidence to the sporting culture in the country that sports for women can also be commercialized, can also be marketized, and sports can become a good career for women, sir. That is the one biggest confidence that Women's IPL has given to the country's sporting culture, sir. Secondly, sir, I believe it will have a domino and multiplier effect. For instance, sir, if you have seen the success of men's IPL, it percolated to other sports, like there is Indian Super League for football, there is Pro Kabaddi League also. So I think with the success of the WPL, it will also have a domino effect on other women's sports, like whether it is women's football, women's kabaddi and other such things. So it will go a long way in creating that domino impact. And thirdly, sir, it signals right intentions on the part of the BCCI and the regulatory environment that it is serious about women's cricket, and parents and families can also come forward confidently to send their girls to sports. For instance, sir, there was equality in pay that was brought about by BCCI, along with the seriousness with which it is conducting WPL. I think these will give a lot of confidence going forward.
So thank you, Ananya.
Thank you so much, sir.
Ananya, we talked about Miranda College history.
Yes.
Let us talk about present also.
Yes.
Now, you know, Miranda, how this college has been ranked as number 1 as per NIRF ranking.
Yes, sir.
And it has been ranked, I think, for 2-3 years consecutively. So tell me, what is so special about Miranda House?
So one of the parameters of NIRF is the perception regarding the college among the peers and the students, sir. So I think Miranda has been able to create that perception as a college that places women's education at the top and that provides a safe space for women to pursue their higher education credentials. Apart from that, sir, I also believe other aspects like the teacher-student ratio, availability of infrastructure. There is also environment for research, sir. For instance, there is DS Kotari Center for Research. There is research pertaining to gender issues. There is research pertaining to physics and chemistry labs are also present.
So now, Ananya, you have that unique privilege of having graduated from that very prestigious college. So in what way do you think it has shaped your personality, which will help you in becoming a good civil servant?
Yes, sir. So firstly, Miranda House has created that sense of community within me, sir. When I entered the Miranda House, it created a sense of community that made me aware of some of the rights and responsibilities I owe as part of that community.
Good, very nice.
So that is one thing, sir. Secondly, it made me an empowered individual, empowered woman. I think that will go a long way for me in taking decisions when I come to the administration. So that is second thing, sir. And thirdly, sir, I believe it also made me an environmentally conscious individual. I was part of Green Edges program. Miranda as a college is also something that places environment at the top. It is also rated as a green building by Gruha. So all these things will also help me as an administrator, especially tackling environmental issues.
Very good.
So these are some.
No, very nice. Ananya, Telangana has done very well on one very important parameter of economy, that is raising per capita income.
Yes.
I think it is ranking number 1 now in the country. And
Yes.
in the last couple of years, it has moved from, I think, ranking number 7, 8 or 10 on number 1.
Yes.
And India is facing a problem per capita income despite growing so well on other parameters of economy.
Yes.
So what lesson do you think Government of India should learn from Telangana for raising country's per capita income? Because we rank very low, almost 143, something like that.
Yes. Sir, while I'm happy about the progress that has been achieved by Telangana, sir, one should also look at the figures critically, sir. For instance, if you see the per capita income of Telangana, it is majorly concentrated in 3 districts, Hyderabad, Reddy and Medchal Malkajgiri. The other districts of Telangana are not faring as good when compared with 3 districts. However, sir, regarding the lessons that can be taken from these 3 districts, I think emphasis can be placed on promoting service economy in terms of IT and other life sciences. That is one thing, sir. And secondly, sir, I believe ease of doing business is something that has created an ecosystem in Hyderabad and surrounding areas that invited a lot of companies, thereby creating employment and other multiple benefits out of it. So that is something that can be taken, sir. And thirdly, sir, exports are something that Telangana has been doing very well, especially IT exports, exports with regard to medicines, such other things. So export-led economy is also something that can be learned for increasing of per capita.
And now you are aware of this problem of Bengaluru, water shortage, traffic problems, and there are reports that now there are many companies who are thinking of shifting to Hyderabad.
Yes.
Another having a good infrastructure for IT and cyber, this thing.
Yes.
So how do you think Hyderabad should prepare itself for this additional, because to avoid the similar situation after 10-20 years which Bengaluru is facing?
Yes.
What preemptive action should Hyderabad take?
Yes. So firstly, in my opinion, Hyderabad has to develop some satellite towns, sir.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
There is lot of congestion that is happening in Hyderabad, and developing of satellite towns can act as sponge in taking the excess congestion that is there. Secondly, sir, infrastructure development is sine qua non, I believe. So infrastructure pertaining to public transportation, infrastructure pertaining to housing is something that is extremely essential in order to decongest the city. And thirdly, sir, stringent pollution norms have to be enforced, sir. For instance, there are lakes in Hyderabad, like in Bengaluru, that are extremely polluted. There is Hussain Sagar Lake, there is Musi River. So I think stringent norms on industries, stringent norms on construction activities, and increasing awareness among people
Very good.
is something
And
that.
then my last question, tribal development, let us talk of. Now tell me, what are institutional mechanisms, Government of India schemes, and constitutional and legal safeguards available to tribals in India? Tell one example from each,
Yes, sir.
starting with institutional arrangement.
Sir, institutional mechanism, I think there is via the PESA Act, the 73rd and 74th local self-governance are instituted in tribal areas. Also through the 5th and 6th schedules, the district councils and tribal advisory councils are also constituted in the tribal areas. Apart from that, sir, there is also Ministry of Tribal Affairs. There is TriFed, which works for
TriFed, yeah.
marketing of tribal products. Sir, regarding the legal measures, I think FRA, that is a Forest Right Act, is something that has revolutionized the way we see tribal rights in the country.
Anything with regard to this education of children, tribal children?
Sir, I think Eklavya model residential schools
Okay,
are
good.
there.
Yeah. Thank you, Ananya.
Thank
Over
you,
to
sir.
honorable member.
Ananya, your optional is anthropology,
Yes, sir.
and you have done BA in geography also.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I say that the geography influences the living of the people, and living in turn influences the overall anthropology
Yes, sir.
of a particular area, of a group of people.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with me?
Definitely, sir.
Geography influences the living, and living in turn influences the anthropology of that area. If you agree with me, if you could elaborate on that.
Sir, I agree with your statement. I think I can again give the example of tribals in this regard.
Okay.
So, tribals are situated in geographically inaccessible areas, especially forests. So, that influences their living in terms of depending on forests for food and other aspects. So, dependence on forests for economic purposes somewhere generates their culture also. They attach religious importance to forests. They attach cultural significance to forests. Their fairs and festivals also has a lot to do with forests. So, I believe there is an intricate relationship, sir.
What is sacred groves?
Sir, sacred groves are basically the religious importance places that are worshipped by tribals especially, that are situated in forested areas, sir.
You are also environmental science graduate.
Yes, sir.
What is the role of this National Green Tribunal in environmental science? Environmental protection?
Sir, I think the primary role NGT has been able to bring in is to make the environmental issues be dealt in a more professional and expertise level manner, sir. While NGT has been able to bring that expertise level into adjudicating of environmental issues and pollution. For instance, it is adjudicating with respect to water pollution, with respect to air pollution, with respect to conservation of biodiversity. So this level of expertise is needed in dealing with as complex as an issue like environment.
What are the acts which are not within the purview of NGT?
Sir, if my memory is serving well, I think Forest Rights Act,
Hmm?
Forest Rights Act of 2006. Sir, another is, I believe, Wildlife Act. I have to check it again, sir. These are the two acts that are not under the purview of NGT.
And Indian Forest Act 1927 or I think 27 or 23, 27 I think. Indian Forest Act, does it come under the purview of NGT or not?
Sir,
Indian Forest Act.
So, Forest Rights Act of 2006 is not under its purview, but I'm
That
not
is
aware
yours,
of.
but Indian Forest Act I am talking about.
No, sir, I'm not aware.
You are not sure about it. Ananya, we are heavily dependent on this Indonesia and Malaysia about our palm oil.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think that we should grow our own palm so that our dependency on the palm oil from these countries is reduced? First, you tell me whether you support this idea or not, ki we should grow our own palm.
Yes.
If you support this idea, then tell me where we can grow, how we can grow. If you don't support me, you tell me
Yes.
the reasons why you don't support me, ki we should not grow palm.
Yes, sir. Sir, I support the idea that we have to grow palm oil in order to reduce our imports on the other countries, sir. Having said that, sir, I also believe palm oil is a crop that has lot of ecological damages also if not adequately and properly grown. So, a proper technical committee has to be constituted. Areas have to be located.
Which area, probable area will feel, where we should grow palm in India?
Sir, since palm is a water consuming crop, growing palm in water where rainfall is high are some of the areas that can be grown, sir. However, care should be taken that palm shouldn't be grown in areas like dry land regions because the water scarcity problem can exacerbate.
Okay. In Red Sea, you are talking about Red Sea. Red Sea, these Houthis are creating a havoc. They are creating problem.
Yes.
The Somali pirates are also creating a lot of problem.
Yes, sir.
Now they say that even Indian Ocean is not safe. Isn't that? So what is all happening? How Indian Navy is responding? What the Houthis are telling that we will strike up to Indian Ocean. We will block the trade in the Indian Ocean itself. And Cape Comorin is also not a good thing. We will stop there also. What is the latest? The total this milieu, how it is evolving? If you could tell me something about.
Sir, Houthis that are backed by Iran are basically wanting to stop the commercial shipping that is happening across Red Sea, sir. It is primarily being done because it wants the violence that is happening against the Palestinians in Gaza to stop. That is the primary reason. Sir, I think India has been able to proactively counter the threats that are coming for, sir. For instance, India is using its fusion center that is there in Gurugram in order to derive information about the shipping and other such things. Also, sir, India has also been actively undertaking joint exercises in that area in order to send a signal that it is proactive in that area. Also, sir, multilateral mechanisms are also there. For instance, combined maritime forces, which is helmed by US. That is something.
Ananya, yesterday some good news was there. India did something yesterday very good about this Somali pirates, against the Somali pirates. Do you know something? Yesterday they did something very good against Somali pirates.
Sir, I'm not sure. I have not listened to that.
And the Houthis, people say they have acquired a particular type of weapon which is capable of striking Indian Ocean also. Do you know something about that?
No, sir. Sorry, I'm not.
Okay. Ananya, you are from Miranda.
Yes, sir.
What is Miranda rights? What are the Miranda rights?
Sir, I've not heard about the term, sir.
Oh, you not heard about it.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Ananya.
you, sir.
So, Ananya, we have completed our mock.
Yes.
I can ask you one last question.
Yes.
If you think any area of your depth has not been covered.
Sir, I was a coordinator in Green Nudges program that was there in the college, sir. So probably regarding that.
In green nudges.
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell me about this implementation plan of green nudges.
So, green nudges basically refers to the actions, small scale actions that will have to be undertaken at the college level in order to improve the environmentally conscious way of living among the college students, sir. So, as part of that, we have generated few ideas. For instance, instead of using plastic cup, we can use a Kulhut cup. And instead of submitting assignments using paper, we can submit digital assignments. And as part of that, sir, refilling of using refills of pens and exchanging of books so that new books are not purchased unnecessarily, and also recycling of waste in the college recycling plant are all such initiatives we have tried to come up with, and we have tried to implement at the ground level so that the college carbon footprint is reduced, sir. So
Tell me two things.
Yes.
How do you measure success of green measures?
Yes, sir.
And number two, how will you ensure that this effort continues?
So, firstly, I think the measure to the success of the Green Edges program is to see how the behaviors have been ingrained in the college going students, sir. For instance, sir, recently I went to collect my certificates from the college, and I was able to see that the students are active in I just about to inquire some students, and I came to know that they were submitting their assignments digitally, and frequent book exchanges and other such programs have been conducted, which made me really happy, sir. However, I think a proper assessment has to be done whereby more number of stakeholders can be asked to tell about the performance of the program. So regarding how to ensure that such thing continues, I think, sir, it is not a destination but rather a journey. I believe one has to constantly make students aware of the challenges that come up with their carbon footprint and how to adopt at the individual level whatever they can do. And also, sir, especially since the life movement has also been brought about by the Prime Minister, in the spirit of that also one can encourage the students.
Good, Ananya. So we close our mock here.
Sure, sir.
You can wait outside. We'll call you.
Thank you, sir.
So Ananya, tell us how you think you have done.
Sir, I think my speed is something that I think I haven't focused enough. I was fast while speaking is what I've observed. That is one thing that I've been consistently told to change if possible. Sir, apart from that, sir, I think I could have open-ended questions like what can we learn from tribals and other such things. I think I could have done better, capitalize on them better is something I felt. And also, sir asked me regarding some questions about international relations regarding the Somali pirates. I think
Red
there was
Sea
knowledge.
and
Yes, sir.
Indian
There was
Ocean.
knowledge gap in that. Sir, I think overall it was average, I would say.
So Ananya, you were good. It's always good to know one's own, shortcomings or whatever you think can be improved.
Yes.
But you were good. We didn't notice your speed in your communication because you were making sense.
Okay, sir.
You were very clear. Your communication was very good.
Okay, sir.
Your knowledge and depth of knowledge also was very good.
Okay, sir.
I don't have very many items to tell you because you ticked all the boxes
Thank you, sir.
with your personality, communication. Only one thing that you looked serious.
Okay, sir.
You could have, smiled like this at the time when question was being asked.
Okay, sir.
So that is one. Number two is in reply to southern state share of taxes.
Okay, sir.
You took a line that there needs to be something to be done.
Yes.
On that, only one issue is there. You read finance minister in one of her interviews has made abundantly clear why it was done.
Yes, sir.
So even poverty has to be shared.
Okay, sir.
Some statement like that if there is poverty, it has to be shared.
Okay, sir.
So just be careful on the line of argument that you take.
Okay.
It should not give rise to number one, any dispute. Number two, anything contrary to what already has been done.
Told.
So I would suggest you look into your reply.
Okay, sir.
See that interview which I read somewhere in Times of India. You can find it out. It's available.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So that was the only thing. Rest all you were C Vigil. You were not
See
right.
you. Yes.
C Vigil is an app which election commission says that each citizen must download it
Okay.
and report to us as a vigilant citizen on violation of MCC,
Okay, sir.
Model Code of
Model code of.
Model Code of Conduct.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
read on that.
Yes.
Ananya, you are a very bright candidate. Your personality is also very good. Impressive personality, very graceful personality. Communication is also very effective. Your speed is also good. It's neither fast nor slow.
Okay, sir.
It's absolutely clear. Okay. Miranda rights. Miranda rights are the police rights. The police, the right of a person who is arrested by the police in USA.
Okay.
Okay. So at the time of the arrest, the arrestee has certain rights that he has to be heard, he has to get an advocate or something. Read about Miranda rights because you are from Miranda. So this question may be asked to you. Regarding Houthis and Middle East, I have written over here, read about in detail. Houthis, people say now they are in possession of some hypersonic missiles also,
Okay, sir.
which can strike up to Indian Ocean.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And yesterday the Indian Navy people and Indian forces, they rescued so many people, I think 15, 16. And they arrested 23, 24 pirates also
Okay, sir.
yesterday. So they are doing a good vigil over there.
Yes.
Okay. And the Houthis are becoming like sort of Vasuli gang type of thing. They are saying ki whosoever passes from here has to give us some money or something like that.
Okay.
So read about all these things. Overall, you are a very good in this geography and palm oil, etc. You are very good. NGT also. Indian Forest Act 27 does not come under the purview of this NGT.
Okay.
Only this environmental act, 5-6 environmental acts, they are under the purview and these things. So read about NGTs because environmental science is there and environment के बारे में जरा आप डिटेल में पढ़ लेना, ठीक है? But overall, you are a very, very bright candidate
Thank you, sir.
in all aspects, okay?
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure you will do very well in your interview.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Same here, Ananya. Nothing to add. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
And you have done very well. Good communication, good personality, and good coverage of all the areas. So keep it up. Read more on tribals. Basic question: why they haven't kept out of UCC?
Yes.
So they want to preserve their culture, basically.
Yes.
So read more on that because answer is your optional.
Yes.
And secondly, what one can learn from tribals: gender equality.
Yes.
So this is the most important aspect.
Yes.
Otherwise, you have done very well. Keep it up. Wish you all the best.
So Ananya, T is equal to 0.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That is the origin of time.
Okay, sir.
In the Big Bang Theory, according to Dan Brown in his book Origin,
Okay, sir.
there is one professor who
Robert
has
Langdon.
put outside his nameplate, below his nameplate, that I believe in T is equal to 0.
Okay, sir.
You forgot, I read this book 6 years ago.
Yes, sir. It's been some time since I read that too. Yes, sir.
So that is number one. Number two, Himalayas also how many states?
Yes, sir.
Find
That
out.
is
11 states.
Okay, sir.
So you are doing very well. We have given you 70%
Yes,
today.
sir. Yes, sir.
So just little bit of knowledge gaps, current affair on whatever you have written in your tab.
Yes, sir.
Catch it up,
Yes, sir.
and I am sure you are going to do very well.
Thank you, sir.
And we 70% is one of the highest that we give. You are in that slot of 5 to 10% candidates. So do well. Any question you have?
Sir, regarding the speed only, is it fine?
It's
or-
fine.
Absolutely fine. It was absolutely fine.
You are
It's
very
your
natural.
natural way
Very
of
natural.
speaking, and it was not that we could not understand.
Yes.
And we are all in the category where the kind of board members you will encounter there. We have been there also.
Yes.
All right. So it was fine.
If you will tinker with your speed, so it might hinder your flow of thoughts. So why to take unnecessary risk?
Yes, sir.
Be as it is.
Yes. Okay.
All the best.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.